Virat, you were the first one to accept that batting was quite bad from both the teams in the third test. I just wanted to ask, do you think there has been a lot of noise about this particular Ahmedabad pitch, and do you think spinning tracks are unfairly subjected to more criticism as compared to other tracks which actually can be bad?
Yeah, I totally believe that. There's always too much noise and too much conversation about spinning tracks. I'm sure that if our media is in a space to contradict those views or present views which say that it is unfair to criticize only spinning tracks, then I think it'll be a balanced conversation. But the unfortunate bit is that everyone sort of plays along with that narrative and just keeps making it a news till the time it's relevant, and then a test match happens. If we win on day 4 or day 5, no one says anything. But if a match finishes in 2 days, everyone pounces on the same issue. It's just becomes an issue to talk about. We lost in New Zealand on day 3 in 36 overs. I'm sure none of our people as well wrote about the pitch. It was all about how India played badly in New Zealand. And none of the pitches were criticized. No one came and saw how much the pitch was doing, how much the ball was moving, and how much grass there was on the pitches. So the reason for our success as a team has been that we haven't cribbed about any pitches that we played on. And we would continue to play like that as a team moving forward as well. And yeah, it is always been the case that spinning tracks come into focus way more. And when the ball seams on a particular pitch and teams get bundled out for 40, 50, 60, no one writes about the pitch. It's always about bad batting. So I think we all need to be very honest with ourselves that what space are we talking from and what's the idea behind continuing this narrative, and what purpose it serves people who keep continuing this conversation, which is quite one-sided.
Hi Virat. Joe Root said yesterday that England had a bit of sickness in their camp in the bubble. Has your team got a clean bill of health going into this game? And should we expect you to keep the same kind of structure of your team that's been so successful over the last 2 games with Bumrah absent?
Look, Jasprit didn't play the test match that we won in Chennai. That shows you our bench strength. Having him obviously is a big boost for us, but having said that, our bench strength is very, very strong at the moment. We have guys who are hungry and ready to play, and there are no health concerns. Everyone's fit and fine here. There are no health issues. They probably would have got a bit of change in weather. It's gotten pretty hot in the last couple of days. It was quite pleasant in the first few. So that obviously becomes a factor in this time of the year when the weather changes so rapidly and the body takes a bit of time to adapt.
Shami Chakravarti.
Hi Virat, this is a sort of continuation of the last question. I mean, do you support rotation in Test cricket? I mean, this is the pinnacle, and every cricketer takes playing Test cricket as a badge of honor. So unless a player himself is asking for a leave or he is willing to rest, do you think Test cricket is the right place for rotation?
I feel any format of the game is the right place for rotation. No human being can possibly go on for that many number of games throughout the year. Everyone needs to find windows of having some time off, having a break, especially with bubble format and the kind of systems you have to follow in the bubble. It can get very monotonous, and it's very difficult to keep yourself excited about small things. I think these are things that need to be considered for as long as we play in the bubble. Outside of that, I think it depends on where you stand physically more than mentally. But I think till the bubble exists, we need to keep the mental factor in the picture as well, because mental fatigue could be a huge factor. Playing within a restricted area, moving around within a restricted area. So yeah, these are things that one needs to be aware of, and hence our bench strength becomes way more important, because if your guys hungry, ready, who read the game well, who understand where the game is heading, are brave enough to take on opportunities or situations to push the team forward, then you can rotate very easily. There are 11 more guys who are ready to win a test match for India or a one day or a T20, and that's exactly what we are striving towards. And we have a clear roadmap as to where we need to go in the next 4 or 5 years, so that our transition is not difficult at all. Guys are ready. People can take breaks accordingly as and when it's required, and yeah, we have a clear plan that we need to move forward with.
Would you still go with an extra batsman in Washington, Sundar, considering Akshar Patel can bat as well, and or Kuldeep Yadav
does find a place in this team? And secondly, Virat as a captain, as Kuldeep Yadav's captain, has he fallen down the pecking order? Has he lost confidence, or is it skill that you've noticed over the last couple of years?
There's no issues with skill. There is no issues with headspace. His game is absolutely precise, bowling better than he's ever bowled before. Combinations. We need to make sure that we cover all facets of the game, and we have our strongest balanced squad on the park. See, if a Jadeja is playing and you're talking about the third spinner, then a Kuldeep comes into the picture way more because of Jadeja's experience with the bat and the number of times he's done the job for the team. Right now, we're going in with Ash. Washi's playing, Aksar's playing. Washi's is scored a few runs. Aksar is relatively new to Test cricket, so yes, they can contribute with the bat, but it's not the same experience as a Jadeja. So your combination becomes very different. When a Jadeja comes in, you're assured that he's responsible. He's going to do the job for the team, and he knows that he's done it again and again and again. So that you can play a Kuldeep who's primarily a wrist spinning bowler. But yeah, it's all about combinations, and if people are not good enough, they won't be part of Team India. It's as simple as that. He's a very, very skillful bowler, and he'll always be in consideration to play whatever game is in front of us, purely because of what he brings with the ball. Very, very skilled, and yeah, his game is as good as it's ever been.
Coming back to Adan, just continuing with the combination, have you finalized the 12? Can you give us an idea as such? And sorry to come back to the pitch thing, but purely from a fan's perspective globally, do you think this, in general, home teams extracting undue advantage, do you think it's time for the Test cricket community as such to have a relook at it, to try and make the games more even as such?
It will be lovely if you ask us this question on an England, New Zealand, Australia tour, not when you've seen 2 turning pitches in India. So that question for me is irrelevant at this point of time. Combination, we will have a look at the pitch again tomorrow, and we have a certain set idea of what we want to go with. Bumrah obviously is not available, so we'll just have to see what we want to go in with, and there won't be many changes to the last 11 that played. Most probably the similar kind of combination.